Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on New Zealand Sports Radio. Yes, it is the Wednesday. Let's start again. Wednesday, the 2nd of December. So hope your summer is starting fantastic, folks. Yes, second day of summer and definitely looking a lot brighter outside than yesterday, where we had obviously a bit of a wet start to the day. Well, at least here in Waihi. In the news today, we'll bring you up to date with the cricket, with series happening in New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa currently. And we have the 18 in 18 basketball coming to a head, the regular season happening there. Also, the Premier Hockey is on, and I'll bring you up to speed with what's happening with that one. I'm hoping to be at some of those games this evening. In Formula One, we have another driver test positive for COVID, and there's been a major restructure announced by New Zealand Football. Let's kick off then with that football announcement. Oh, this is your best way to start the day, up to speed with all of the important sports news. So New Zealand is going to move away from the Summer National League that has been happening since 2004, citing that youth development and sustainability are the priorities for them. It's going to change now so that there'll be two phases run from March through to December. The first phase will be the Northern, Central, and Southern conferences happening, and then the top four teams from the Northern Conference, 3 from the Central Conference, and 2 from the South Conference will then all come together, along with a Wellington Phoenix development side for the national championships. Every team will be required to start with at least 2 under-20 players in their starting lineups. Only allowed to have 4 foreign players, plus 1 from Oceania Football Conference nation. Also, the payments for those players will be will not be allowed from 2021, meaning that there will be strict guidelines as to what expenses can be paid. But it is designed to be an amateur league, and we'll see how this all pans out. And this is obviously a cultural shift for New Zealand football, and the teams that currently take place within the national conference, most of them either are club sides already or have close associations with club sides, so they'll obviously be working on that. On the women's side of the game, a similar kind of structure will take place, except with a Northern Conference clubs joining federation clubs from the middle and lower areas of the country, and they're looking at building out the women's game and the club game so that the Central and Southern teams can put competitive clubs together. So really looking to develop the women's game. They say at the moment there isn't the depth of players to do the same thing on the women's side, but they were looking at growing that out to be similar or to be the same as the men's side of things. The men's and women's national competitions are currently going ahead in their current format, and I'll bring you up to date with those results at the weekend. Moving on then to the cricket, and currently England and South Africa are playing the third T20. South Africa went into bat first and have posted their best total so far of the series, 191 for 3 off their 20 overs. England yet to chase that down. We'll see whether they do chase it down or not. Bring you up to date with we'll bring you the results of that game tomorrow. Also, Australia versus India are playing their third one-day international today. That starts at 4 p.m. And finally, New Zealand versus West Indies. Their test series starts tomorrow in Hamilton. Obviously, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest news around the cricketing world. Over in the 18 in 18, the women's national basketball competition, the Harbour Breeze really laid down a statement against reigning champions, the Auckland Dream. They shot out to an 8-0 lead and extended that to extended that so that at the break they were leading 6-20 at the end of the first period, and they just went on to win the overall 59-72. So really impressive performance there by the Harbour Breeze over Auckland, being led by Blair with 18 points on that one, she was ably supported. Led by Kelma Poto, with 19 points, Blair on 18 points, and Fotu on 13 points, leading the way for the Breeze. Buckman led the Buckman and Roberty both got 15 points for the Dream, but let's be honest, they were always chasing the game and could never really got themselves back into that one. That means that the Breeze will finish the regular season with 5 out of 5 wins on the maximum of 10 points. It's now between the Gold Rush, the Switch, the Dream, and the Wizards to see who will end up joining them in the semi-finals this weekend. The Dream finish on 4 points, and it's going to come down 2 points difference to see whether they'll make it. Tonight, they'll be watching the game between the Waikato Wizards and the Capital Swish, and seeing depending on how close that one finishes depends on the order of the teams as far as points difference goes and who will make those semi-finals. So big game tonight in the shake-up for the semi-finals of the 18 in 18. Tonight also the men's Premier hockey competition gets back underway. We have the Tridents versus the Falcons and the Mavericks versus the Alpiners. The pushback for the Tridents versus Falcons is at 5 p.m. The second game pushes back at 7 p.m. Those are available on Sky Sports Next, and I will be aiming to, definitely the second game. Hopefully I'll be at both games, bringing you post-match interviews from those games today. Also, I'll hopefully get to the games on Saturday as well, which is the final round of the regular season before their finals on Sunday. And again, bring you coverage of that, the men's Premier Hockey League that's going on at the moment. In international news, in Formula One, Hamilton has tested positive for COVID. Apparently, he also learned that he had a close contact prior to the last Grand Prix. He just found out afterwards, and they had 3 tests last week that were negative, but on Monday apparently felt like he had some mild symptoms, took a test, and has come back as positive. So he will be missing the penultimate Grand Prix, the Shakir F1 Grand Prix this weekend. We'll love to see whether he's back for the final Grand Prix in Bahrain or not. Sorry, the final race in Abu Dhabi, not in Bahrain, in Abu Dhabi or not. You are now up to speed with all of the important sports news. Don't forget that also tomorrow, on Thursday, we'll have the announcements of the Super Rugby teams. Last night, the Chiefs let us know that Xavier Rowe and Brad Weber had both re-signed for next season. We already knew that had already been leaked, so no surprises on those announcements yesterday evening by the Chiefs. We'll see if there will be any other announcements. One of the key, positions that we're all looking at, wondering about, is how will the Hurricanes fill their number 9 berth, because TJ Perenara is off to Japan next season, and so will be taking his sabbatical. Also, we will. Jamie Booth has gone and had a bad injury during the Mitre 10 Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Hurricanes fill that gap in their roster. Also, tomorrow I will be at the Maori All Blacks versus Moana Pacifica media event. So hopefully bring you some pre-game interviews for that game on Saturday, which I'll be at with a media card. So I'll be bringing you post-match interviews from that game this weekend as well. I hope you're having a wonderful week, everybody, and catch you all tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the morning sports briefing.